Now we're under a winter storm warning until at least Sunday morning. I want to give you an idea of how quickly this is coming down. If you look down here, when we first got here about an hour ago, the snow is barely making any headroom on my tape measure. Now it's over ½ an inch, and to keep in mind, we could see up to 10 inches, so we still have quite a ways to go. I want to show you this barn behind me. As you can see, it's just completely destroyed. Now the folks that live here say this happened around 9:50 last night. They also lost power. Now to give you an idea of just how cold it is, good news, if you don't have a sled, you can make one. Down here, I've actually made a frozen towel. So what I did, I wrung this towel up with water, and as you can see now, it's frozen solid, more like a sled. John, right here in my hand, I have the court documents showing the 2 counts of DUI being brought against Police Chief Wesley Helmick. Now, we've been reaching out to the mayor for weeks, trying to get an update on his employment status. Well, take a look at just this one street corner. Everything from the linemen who work on these poles to the people who build these houses and roads are all examples of jobs that currently need more workers. U-Haul recently built some storage facilities right up this hill. Now neighbors say water coming out of this drain is going downhill into their septic tank and is flooding their basement. I'm here in Morton. We're right across from where we believe Travis Reinking's father lives. Now the FBI has been here for several hours earlier today, staked out in front of the house. Also, we've seen several sheriff's deputies. They are not letting anyone get near the door. Tonight, the Committee of the Whole debated an ordinance that would ban the homeless from sleeping on these benches outside the library overnight. However, one major concern brought up is that we'll only move the problem a few steps away over here to the Sangamon County complex. John, right here in my hand, I have the court documents showing the 2 counts of DUI being brought against Police Chief Wesley Helmick. Now, we've been reaching out to the mayor for weeks, trying to get an update on his employment status. However, the city's website says he is still the chief of police. It was here, neighbors say, they found Virginia's police chief pinned under his motorcycle near the intersection of Virginia and Bethel Church Road. Helmick was airlifted to Memorial Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Illinois State Police cited him with a DUI and improper lane usage.
Police chief's one of the pillars of the community in a small town. There's not much police activity other than him. So when something like that happens, it sets a bad message for the rest of the community.
Illinois appellate prosecutor Chuck Zoller now has 2 charges filed against Helmick, one for driving under the influence and the other for a blood alcohol content above .08. He says the second charge automatically suspends your license in Illinois for 6 months.
He does not sport the badge well, serve and protect while you're driving drunk on a motorcycle. You should not be allowed to be giving somebody else the same consequences while you do the same wrong. And you should be treated as any other citizen.
When we called Virginia police, we were told Helmick was on medical leave, but the city's website still shows Helmick as the chief of police, and city council agendas show Helmick delivering police status reports at meetings.
If it's under further investigation, I fully expect him to do the right thing, and that would be find a new officer, and he can have another chance somewhere else, but it's going to follow him for a long time.
Helmick's attorney did file a petition to rescind some of these charges that could be to get his license back. Now, as far as we could tell, this was Helmick's first DUI. Live from Virginia, I'm Nikki McGee, News Channel 20 at 10. Well, here in my hand, I have a copy of the letter sent out to participants letting them know that come July 1st, they would no longer be getting paid. Now, this comes 7 months before the first minimum wage increase is set to take effect, and now some are questioning why. Meet Nicholas Braun. He struggles with autism, cerebral palsy, and Tourette's. For the last 6 years, he's worked at Goodwill as part of their vocational rehabilitation program, which gives jobs to the disabled.
And I love Goodwill, I like the people there, and, it was a good atmosphere for me.
A job his mom says gave him purpose.
I saw him grow in ways that he could not have grown otherwise. I saw him become a self-sufficient adult.
But July 1st, that position came to an end. Goodwill says they can no longer afford to pay these workers due to the new minimum wage, which starts going up in increments beginning in January.
I use the excuse of it going to $15. Well, that's not until the year 2025. So I really don't see how that affected him.
By making the changes now, we can start offsetting the expense that we're incurring, not only through Voc Rehab, but the other things that we're doing in the organization.
Participants can still come in without pay for developmental learning activities, but so far Nicholas says that's consisted of drawing and working on math problems.
I'd rather be working, making my money like I used to do.
Goodwill's president says they are still working to improve those programs as part of this transition.
It is a change, but the blessing to all of this is that we're keeping the doors open to still provide the service.
I cried about it. It's like, I don't understand why they're doing this, you know?
For people like Nicholas, partially they relied on this program to help get them to and from work by providing transportation. They say finding that in another job will be hard to do. Live from Springfield, I'm Nikki McGee. Back to you. Well, this is just one example of some of the damage left behind after storms ripped through central Illinois Thursday morning. However, after hearing a storm like this, Lincoln residents tell me they just feel lucky to be alive. Logan County residents got a rude awakening just after midnight Thursday morning.
There was this horrible noise that was just going, and just kept on going, just kept on going. I thought, oh my God, there's a tornado, and I thought it was right on the corner of the house. I rolled off the bed. I thought I was done for. I thought I was going to go flying through the air.
Debris could be seen throughout Logan County, ranging from trees on top of houses to grain bins carried clear across the highway. The storm left roughly 4,000 people without power Thursday. Emergency management crews believe it will take several days to restore Lincoln back to how it was before the storm. But for residents like Joanne Laniger, what's important is miraculously no one was hurt.
I am so glad to be alive. I thank you, God. I thank God. That's all I did. That's what I did. As soon as I realized that I was okay and that I was going to be alive, I started thanking God.
Emergency crews I talked to across central Illinois tell me their top priority is getting roads reopened and unblocked. After that, they'll be able to deal with the rest of the storm damage. From Logan County, I'm Nikki McGee. Back to you. Well, Dee, with the majority of the Park District's money coming from taxpayer money, now some are wondering if these golf pros are a hole-in-one or a triple bogey.
When Illinois taxpayers are paying the highest property taxes in the nation, we need to look at every single dollar.
The Springfield Park District pays a total of almost $200,000 to 4 pros. One teaches tennis, 3 others teach golf.
The golf pros manage the day-to-day operation of the pro shops.
The full-time golf pro salaries range from $52,000 to $62,000 a year.
Selling season passes, taking admission fees and green fees, renting out carts, running the concession operations, dealing with the public.
But if you want a lesson or round of golf, you'll have to pay for it.
I think everything should be on the table, and everything we should ask the question, is this of value, and is this something we need to keep in light of the burden that our taxpayers are already paying?
The Park District says local taxes are better than districts in Champaign, Peoria, Decatur, and Urbana.
We are by far levy the lowest tax rate of all of those districts. Many of them we're half the rate, and some were even a third of the rate.
I think it's good for the city to have the recreation here, and I think that if you look at the way that the city spends some of their money, and that this is a drop in the bucket.
But others say their taxes are going towards something they don't even use.
It's coming out of the taxes that I pay, and I've never even stepped foot on a golf course before, so it's a lot of money that I'm paying for something I don't use.
Springfield has a total of 4 golf courses run by the Park District. 2 of those are 18 holes and 2 of those are 9 holes. Live from Springfield, I'm Nikki McGee, Fox Springfield News at 9.